Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Mel. I am the current standing host of what is known as the Black Gate System, or the Kaer Collective. I am also the leader, I think that's the right term, of the subsystem here. I have a subsystem made up of fablings. I will get into dissecting a lot of the main terms that we use as a system once this channel kind of takes off, or, well, once I kind of gather my bearings and uh, do adequate research and all of that into those sorts of terms and terms, phrases, functionings, roles, labels. Yeah, that's a much better word. But yeah, I say I, but it's really we. But um, there's like 10 people in front right now, which has not happened. I don't know if this is the first time, but if it's not the first time, then I definitely do not remember it. Oh yeah. Pronouns, you can just say they, them. That's the easiest, just for everybody here, because it's not always guaranteed that it's just going to be one person that you're talking to. I mean, obviously, but I mean, I'm talking about, Kokon and all that good sort of deal going on, co-fronting Kokon, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, hi. Um, we are a uh, mixed origin system of currently, oh god, over 30. And then there's the Fablings, and then we are usually in the constant state of expanding. It's kind of difficult to keep a consistent count, I should say, because there's gonna be pretty much, as far as we're aware, growth that is going to be happening. We're not sure when the growth is going to stop. If the growth is going to stop, we don't know yet. We're not entirely sure. Would we like the growth to stop? I mean, ideally, yeah, it would be, I guess, better for it to stop. But, I mean, what can you do? What can we do? I mean, we can't just. I mean, in our circumstances, we can't exactly just stop the system from growing. And I know some are like, oh, well, I can do this and that, or I have this headmate that has this role, and we can get the growth to stop or slow down at least. We can't do that. We don't have anyone like that. It's like kind of like once someone is here, they're kind of just here for good, which, you know, we welcome them and we treat them all nicely, or better than we used to. So, anyways, yes, that is an introduction. Hi, I'm Mel. Nice to meet you. I don't know who exactly is going to be here because there is a lot of us. There's tons, and I just don't know how everyone is about being on camera or even just, speaking into a microphone, all that sort of thing. I'm just unsure about that. I I don't know if they are comfortable with that just yet. I don't know who's more comfortable. I have had Talion, who is the co-host, by the way. He is the he's the longest standing member here aside from myself. But I say that, but I don't know how much is subject to change, because with the fablings added in, that's a lot of other things to take into account in regards of who has been here the longest. So I'm not sure in that regards. So with that being said, yeah, he might. I mean, you could have. I mean, it could be anybody. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna do headmate introductions or anything, because again, there's a lot of us. But if anyone wants to do it, by all means, they are welcome to if they feel like it. If not, I don't care. Um, it's not that big of a deal, obviously. But I am. First of all, that chair is creaking. Second of all, I am trying to get to the point of why we're starting this channel, why we're making it. So we do have a main channel, but it's mostly my channel. That is the Fish the Draco Moo channel, which is, my hobbies channel. It's mostly going to be me on there. You're not really gonna see anything regarding my headmates at all on there, or anything system related, which we were originally going to start posting on there, but we decided to make a whole separate channel for this, for just system related content, because we just thought it would be better for people to find us and not be all jumbled up with like the furry hobby stuff and then the video game footage stuff, or the edits, or the whatever goofy ass stuff I feel like posting on there, because that's going to be more of like a mix of just whatever I feel like posting, really. And then this one is just going to be strictly for system related stuff, and I think that's a lot better. And another thing is, I wanted to be open and honest about my plurality instead of just keeping it to myself, which I understand some people are like, I would rather keep it to myself, but it's something that seriously interests me and a lot of members in our system. We take great interest in, studying the terminologies, the roles, the ins and outs, the functions, other people's experiences, that sort of thing. And yeah, we wanted a space to talk about it. And also, there's not a lot of content about systems who aren't either disordered or made of like created or tulpas or something like that. Which is, there's not anything necessarily wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not out here. I'm not gonna be like shitting on either of those communities. That is not what I'm getting at. But unfortunately, there is a lot of cis-medicalism still out and about, which personally we think that's just going to be almost all the time, but it has been prevalent, especially here on YouTube, a lot, unfortunately, because we will find a channel where it's like, okay, they're a disordered system, but they still talk about just, general system things, and then out of the nowhere they just say, oh, and people who are faking being a system, and we're like, oh my god, no. So then you're like, well, now we have to quit watching you because you've got like this whole faker complex, like fake claiming going on, and then you get people who are, real ironic with it. They're like, oh yeah, fake claimers don't interact, but also if you don't have DID or OSDD, you're not a system, blah blah blah. So we just wanted to provide kind of a nice median, median, which is a system term, but a nice space where we can talk about us personally, because again, we are mixed origin, we're not disordered per se, and we will never say that we are disordered. We will not say that we have DID, or we have OSDD, or we have a CDD, complex dissociative disorder, or of anything like that, because we don't, and that would be a complete lie, and that is not what we are saying at all. We will never ever say that we have any of those, because one, even if we were to self-diagnose, it would not be accurate, so we would be lying. We don't show the symptoms, we don't show any of that. The only thing we do show is having multiple people, one mind, multiple entities in one mind. That is the only thing we share. It is not disordered in any way. It is caused by trauma, partially, yes. And I don't know if we're going to share any of that, because it is, it was the lowest point in our lives, well, it's not as extreme, I guess, if you were to really be, shitty about it and compare trauma, but it was shitty enough. That's not the point. Don't compare trauma, don't do it. I'm trying to enunciate it, put it into words properly. I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's not this. I guess it's not what the stereotypical, this is the trauma that caused me to be a system. That's not what people would think about. Doesn't mean it doesn't count or anything, but we're probably not going to talk about it. At most, maybe very vague references to it, but I still can't imagine that any of us would want to talk about it at all, at any length. But yes, we are partially traumagenic, but we are also partially endogenic. So there are other more positive reasons, non-trauma related reasons. I know endogenic doesn't necessarily mean positive, but you can still be endogenic and have issues within your system. And definitely endogenic does not automatically mean you don't have trauma at all. I'm going on way too many tangents though. I'm getting really into the weeds in this. And where's this stuff I need to take? Here it is. Okay, there we go. Just had to get distracted and pay attention to the game real quick. But yeah, we're gonna get all that sorted out. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about, the different labels that we use, our experiences, that sort of thing. But again, we want to keep it kind of on the more lighthearted side, so we're not so just entrenched in just talking about, oh, well, this happened and it sucked and it was bad, and if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. So yeah, and just generally speaking, if you have an issue with us being a system and calling ourselves a system while not being, DID, OSDD, or whatever, CDD, complex dissociative disorder, if you have issue with that, we urge you to keep it to yourselves. If you really are going to leave a comment, whatever, we're not going to pay any attention to it. I mean, at most, we're going to do the thing where we hide users from our channel, which I know is worse than a block button. It doesn't do the same justice as a block button. We're really upset that YouTube... not really, but we're miffed that YouTube took away the block button because it was a nice feature, and I feel like all social media platforms should have block buttons, but that's another can of worms entirely. But yeah, if you just come on here and be like, oh my god, you're faking, you're a fake system, blah 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 blah, you don't have DID, you don't have OSDD, blah 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 blah, we're not gonna pay you any mind. We're not going to, and we don't have to answer, any sorts of comments like that. It's not required of us. We'd rather engage with people who have more insightful discussions or views and things like that. So sorry, not sorry about that. And yeah, I guess that's really about it. We will make a terms video coming very soon, hopefully. Please excuse us if there's gaps between uploads. We don't really have a schedule at all. This is, again, more lighthearted. This isn't going to be like, I want to upload like every 2 days or whatever. We have school, we have a job, we are currently in college, we are working a part-time job in retail, fun, I know, and we're trying to make money so we can pay off our tuition and also have enough money for, gas and recreational stuff whenever we feel like it. So, yeah, hi, I'm Mel, once again, they, them pronouns please, and this has been the Blackgate System, or you can also call us the Caramorn Collective. And I hope you guys enjoy your stay. Bye-bye.